started. So as we start tonight, I just want to tell you, I want to open up your mind. I want you to think, what if? I want you to think, you know, knowledge is power, and I believe that I've always believed that in the Tupperware business because a lot of times I think people don't realize the more money they could be making and the potential they have to make more money if they would just think about what if. All right. And so there's a couple things you need to know at Champion. I do not expect anybody that recruits somebody to train that person completely from head to toe. However, anything you want to help on training with them is great, but you can plug them into the system that we have here at Champion, have them get on Thursday nights and learn from there. You can plug them into the system that Tupperware has on the website and all the training, and you can plug them into all of our training. We have what I call an easy button. And when somebody comes in as a new recruit, all the directors have a link tree that we've created with all kinds of training in that link tree. And so ask your director if you don't have that link so that you can get it and use it when you're recruiting because we don't have it on the Facebook page, particularly. Your director has it. And the reason we don't have it on the Facebook page because there are other people from other companies um, on that Facebook page, and I just don't want it all over the place because it's really our training. And I'm more than willing to help anybody, but this is something we kind of put together, and we change it all the time. A link tree can be easily changed and fixed and recreated. But it's special for us, okay? It is, we are champion and we are special and we work really hard to make sure that your job is easy. So we want to take the monkey off your back right now, okay? And so if you feel like, well, I brought them in before and they didn't do anything, I want you to also know that it usually takes 10 recruits to get one good recruit on your team. And so if that is being said, you've got to realize that you might have to recruit 20 people, 30 people to get a good team together because some people will, some people won't. So what? Someone's next. And so you've got to never put the monkey on your back. All right. So I don't want you to put the monkey on your back. And I won't put the monkey on your back. Okay. Because it takes an army to run a great company and we're all in the army. All right. And so that also let you know that obviously, we want you to encourage them, motivate them, inspire them, answer a little question. Okay, somebody, I'm sorry, you got that, Ellen? You want to be able to answer any questions. We do have our chat groups. And so PC Champs have their own chat group. I know Ellen Lewis and her team has a chat group. So your director probably has a team chat, which is like a messenger group that's set up completely separate from Facebook. And so that if you've got quick questions, you can ask them in there. If you've got ahas or exciting things, you can put it in there too. But also know on the team page, we want you to post on that team page. We do actually check everybody's post before it gets published for lots of reasons. Okay. If it's not sweet, we delete so that we protect you. Because if you bring a new recruit in and she's all excited, and you put her on the team page, and all of a sudden she's reading how somebody's box didn't get shipped to them and it went to the wrong address, and anything like that, she's going to be disappointed. She's going to be feeling like, oh, did I make the right choice? And we don't want you to have an issue where you've got somebody so pumped and excited, and then all of a sudden they're not. So we protect you when we don't put anything out there that's not going to build the team, build the individual, build the company, build the business. It doesn't go there. All right. Now you can certainly vent up to your director, and we want you to because a lot of times there's things I could fix for you if you just let me know you have a problem. And so don't suffer alone if you've got an issue or a problem. Always reach out to me. I do work really hard to maintain good friendships with corporate staff, and so that if I ever need to let corporate know we have an issue, can you please fix this? I can get attention. All right. And so I will tell you that it's pretty cool to be a champion, all right, in corporate eyes, all right. So that everybody, even the vice president right now of Tupperware, Doug Palenica, his mother was a champion. I personally recruited her into the business, and he was a champion and used to work in our warehouse. So champion's pretty famous, all right? And so it's pretty cool to be a champion. But I also tell you that it takes an army. And so I am one person. but I'm capable of doing a lot, but I can't do everything. And so we have great directors. And when you come into this business, you don't have one director, you have all of us. We all train on Thursday nights. We work with you. We want to motivate you. We want to inspire you. And we want you to always think, what if? And, the next step, and how do I get there? And so, first of all, when you're thinking about making more money in Tupperware, I'll tell you the very first thing you want to do is you always want to demonstrate the premium products. And when I talk about premium products, I'm talking about the stack cooker, I'm talking about the pressure cooker, I'm talking about the grill, I'm talking about the sets of module mates and the sets of fridge smarts and the sets, even creating your own sets, the adaptable tower, even when it's not a tower per se sold at one time, you talk about it as if it needs to be going together. They're like sisters, they don't want to be separated, right? And so yes, you want to talk about things that are higher values. All right. Obviously, everybody knows we have snack cups. Everybody knows we have our little minis and things like that. People are very familiar with that. They'll add that onto their order. But don't get on and do a whole demo or spend a lot of time on something that's not going to make you good money, good return for your time. Okay. ROT, return on your time. All right. So think about that when you're talking about different products. I love, absolutely love, and am crazy about my fridge smarts. I use them every day. They're always in my refrigerator, filled with my fruits and my vegetables. They save me money. And so I feel that when I share about the fridge smart, I'm doing somebody a favor. So if they purchase the fridge smart, I feel really good about that. It feels, I know that they're going to save their family money. It does take discipline. You can't put them in your drawer and put in your cupboard and not use them, and they'll save you money. But if you use them, you're going to definitely see a difference in your produce, and it's going to last longer. It's going to save you money, but it also saves the environment. The gases that come from rotted food is really not a cool thing. All right. And so we're saving the environment by using what we buy and not throwing it away. If you're that type of person that, the day before you go to the grocery store, you go through the refrigerator and throw everything away, and then you put newspaper on top of it so your husband doesn't notice it because you know that you'd probably just threw away 20 or $30 worth of vegetables. Well, then you need our fridge smarts. All right. And so the fridge smart's definitely going to help not only you and your customer, it helps the environment. And so it's a win win. But selling in sets, making sense on why your party average is high or low if you're not selling in sets and talking about, the sisters that go together and the family unit of the fridge smart, the family unit of the modular mates, the family unit of the counterscapes. I love my counterscapes. And so if you're not talking about the sets, then of course people are buying onesies and twosies and they're never really getting the full advantage of the product line. The other lines are certainly very valuable for the fridge smarts, of course, are a set and individual pieces are sold. But when you're looking at the investment of a pressure cooker or the investment of the grill, it really is a very wise investment because it's so practical. In fact, today we used it to warm up food from a restaurant that we brought home. And I'm telling you, if you haven't done that, it like makes it taste just like it did in the restaurant. All right. And so it was um, fried fish. And so crispy fried fish. And so putting that in that grill, it was just as crispy and yummy as it was in the restaurant a couple hours earlier. And so think about how you can help your friends and family and your customers. And when you go into this business in the service mind about who am I going to help next, this business multiplies and it just does. But if you go into it as I am desperate, I need money, I need to please buy this product, please help me, please have a party, please, please, please. Please is a nice word, but it doesn't work in this business. You've got to go in and give, mentally give of what is going to be a value for them and help them grow their Tupperware stock. And so they're saving money and eating fresher food. Even the point of getting this beautiful tea tumbler. Okay. And so when you're looking at this beautiful tea tumbler, what's it going to do for the person that purchases it? You're going to drink more water. Okay. Because it's fresh, it's cold, it's clean. You've got a large amount in here already, but it's also very practical and so pretty to carry around with you. You're not embarrassed. It's something I am proud of. Plus, this color is so pretty. Aren't you glad you got on tonight? I just had to say that. So corny. All right. And so, thinking about the benefit of the person and how they're going to benefit. The other thing I want to tell you about is you need to look for your customers. You think of find, talk to them a little bit, get to know your customers, and you know your family and friends. So, think about even in your own home, selling the product is finding a solution that is going to make for people. And so I always like say, find a hole and fill it. Okay. And so find something, a problem that people are having in their homes, and then find the solution in our line that will fix that problem. In other words, one of the things that I have in my home is I love to buy lunch meat for my husband. He likes to make a sandwich every once in a while, but guess what? That gets really slimy in the drawer. All right. Even if you put it in Tupperware, it doesn't last very long. But guess what you can do? You can take his favorite layer, take a piece of the the turkey, a piece of the pepperoni, a piece of the roast beef, a piece of the Cajun chicken, whatever it is that he likes, and layer it up, and then put it in the freezer. And in our freeze smarts in our freeze smarts, and that way I can pull out just a few sheets at a time. Now you can roll it if you want to roll it. I like to roll my bacon because that way I can roll up that bacon and put it in the freeze smarts and pull it out and just pop out one or two pieces. But when it comes to the lunch meat, what I like to do is I will put freezer paper in between layers, and that way you can pull out just one or two layers and not have to worry about having it go slimy in the drawer. It's always fresh, always ready for a sandwich, and you know how fast that falls out on a plate in the kitchen. Yeah, 5 minutes and you're ready. Now, if you're going to grill the sandwich, it's you instantly just make it. It'll be fine. All right. So find a hole and fill it so that you can help people purchase our product line. I will tell you that when it comes to the freeze smarts, that's another one of my favorite products because it really does prolong the life of your food when you can freeze it properly and not have freezer burn on it. And I love our product because it's so pliable when you pull it out. And so when you fall in love with the product, it's easy for you to help other people and help them love the product too. So, that being said, I want you to think about the price of our product. And so, when you're looking at that, you're thinking, yeah, Pam, but I don't know anybody that's going to pay for that grill. Well, let me share something with you. For instance, the grill. Let's talk about that. And I want you to put on a piece of paper the price of the grill. How much is the grill, everybody? Who knows the price of the grill? Anybody want to share the price of the grill? You're going to put it in a text?
One
I
ninety
think you're
nine, right?
199. Yeah.
199. So I want you to write that on a piece of paper. 199. All right. And now on the other side of the piece of paper, I want you to put a dot. Just a dot. Okay. Now, when you wrote that 199, I want you to go back to it and I want you to circle that 1 to 99, and I want you to circle it with how you feel the value of that product is. And so, just circle that 199 and now come over to that dot. Now, let me do a demonstration. And as I talk about that grill, every time you think, well, that's cool, that's an advantage for me. Oh, that would help me out. That would help me out. I want you to circle your dot. And every time I say something that you like or you feel that that would be an advantage for your family, circle the dot. Again, on the outside of that circle the dot again and circle the dot again. So let's go. All right, ready? All right, this is our beautiful grill, and I absolutely love it. One of the things that's a real perk for most people is to find out that it is a metal product. However, the silicone helps protect it in the arcing of the microwave, and it'll protect your microwave and protect your product, and your food never has microwaves that touch it. In fact, the waves come in, it heats the metal. And when it heats the metal is so hot it cooks the food. So it'll crisp things up for you, like leftover pizza. Have you ever put leftover pizza in the microwave and you pulled it out and it's it's like so sorry. It's bowing to you. You don't want your pizza to bow to you because it's so warped and so woppy. We don't want warped over pizza. We want strong, crispy pizza on the bottom, right? Would you not love to have pizza taste good, just as good the second time as it did the first time? Absolutely. How about when you have that leftover chicken and that you have from a restaurant or whatnot? Any leftovers from any restaurant, you're talking quick and easy. One of my favorite things to make in it is my BLTs. And how do I do that? I literally take the bacon and I lay 4 pieces of bacon down and I cut my bacon in half. So it's 4 half pieces of bacon. And then I take another 3 pieces of bacon and I weave it like a basket weave and I lay it over and on top and over on top and over on top. Then put that in the microwave and it takes about 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and it is so crispy and so cute. And you pick it up with one fork and all the pieces pick up. Lay it on your toasted bread, or if you want your bread toasted for your bacon. I love my bread toasted my bacon. Put the bacon down, put the lettuce and the tomatoes on, and guess what? I love to put mayonnaise on, and I put everything but bagel on top of that. It's a game changer on your BLT. You got to try it. You're going to love it. Another thing that you're going to love so much about this wonderful product is it's easy to go in the camper. It's easy to go to school with kids when they go to college and they have literally a microwave grill that is so safe and so easy even for the children to use. Now you're thinking, well, that's all well and good, but what about a meal? I will tell you, you can take frozen chicken breast and put it down inside of here, and you're going to grill it for 2.5 minutes on one side and pull it out. I like to flip mine over 2.5 minutes on the other side, and it is delicious and tender and juicy. You're going to be thinking, I'm never making my chicken another way because it's so moist. Now, I like to put my favorite seasoning on there, whether it be your Italian season or your Cajun season. You can do that before you put it in the grill and never add any oils or fats. Who likes to add no extra oils and fats? Save on those calories, right? And so it's so practical. But when you have the ring that we can buy with it, our silicone ring, it actually will make cakes. It'll make uh, a little omelet for you right inside of that. It's so quick, so easy, so simple, and you're using less electricity in your home as well. So all of those reasons make it a really practical purchase for you and your family, and you're going to love having the grill. Don't forget, this makes a beautiful gift idea. So for the family, buy one for yourself and one for your best friend or your mom for Christmas, or somebody, your kids at college. They'll love it and they'll be thanking you every time they use it. Why not show you really care? Give that gift to Tupperware. So how many of you have a bigger side dot now? Your That circle got bigger than the price got. Anybody? The value of the product. So you build the value in your demo. And pretty soon that $199 isn't so much when it does all of that. And then you can always say, I want to remind you that all of our products have 3 prices. You can pay full price, you can get something for half price when you're a host with me, or you can earn it absolutely free. Your choice. All right. And so really build on the value, and it makes the price smaller and the value bigger. That's when you sold. All right. And so the whole idea of sales is the price gets smaller and smaller because the value gets bigger and bigger. Okay. And so simple math, right? All right. And so let's talk about this business a little bit and going into how I can make more money as a leader. And obviously, there's lots of ways to make money, but let me find our screens here real quick. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay. And I need to share. Share. Oh, we're going to share desktop one. And where did you go? Oh, here you are. Oh, there we go. Are we ready? Do you see it, Ellen? Is it
I
right?
see it.
Okay. Now, Ellen and I are going to go through the slides with you to make just make it a different voice. I always find it makes it much better. But making the difference and Tupperware is you. You make the difference. And when you fall in love with this business, I will tell you, when I joined Tupperware, the first thing I realized was this is a great idea. Not just the product. I love the product. Before I sold Tupperware, Tupperware sold me. I love the product. My mom had Tupperware. I always loved Tupperware. But when I got into the business and realized the compensation plan, I thought to myself, this is brilliant. Who actually made this compensation plan? Because the more I help you, the more it helps me. And so I'm your biggest fan. And so I'm going to help you. I'm going to motivate you. I'm going to inspire you. I'm going to teach you how to make money here. And as you bring people in, the more you help them, the more money you're going to make. And so to me, it was a win-win. When I realized that all of the business perks of the business, obviously, the product, but the people, the product, and the plan is what makes business. And it's why Tupperware has lasted 80 years next year. Okay, we'll have our 80th year. All right, so Ellen.
Oh my gosh. So who wants more, right? So who wants more freedom? Who wants more recognition, more choices? I think we all want more choices, right? I think about that all the time. That one I think resonates with so many people. I mean, think about it. Like put a like a one in the chat if you have at some point in the last week thought to yourself, you wish you had other options other than like what you had to take, right? Whether you had to take a specific option due to the cost or due to the time restraint or due to your resources, right? There's so many times that we wish we had other choices that we're confined to the choices that we have before us because of time constraints, money restraints, whatever it is, right? More impact, right? Being able to help more people, being able to have more influence, more impact, and even just kind of more impact on ourselves, right? Sometimes we kind of have to like look within. It was funny, as Pam was talking, I got a little notification on my phone because I get these little cute reminders, and it said, it says, not knowing exactly where my personal growth will take me. And it says, I love not knowing exactly where my personal growth will take me. And I was like, yeah, I love that, and that's about impact. That's about impact for myself, and just leaning into personal growth and leaning into that, not knowing where it's going to take you, just knowing it's going to take you, right? It's going to take you somewhere. And that's the cool thing about this business is that it impacts you in so many ways. And because of that, exponentially, you're impacting other people in so many ways, whether it's your family or the people that you bring into the business or the people you meet in the business, right? So your future is waiting. Are you ready to claim it?
All right. And you know what? It all starts with you. And the decision needs to be made. And if you make the decision that I'm going to go for more, it's can be a change that you can go through and become who you need to be to make this business work. And so what can you do to change your life? Are you willing to make to do different things? Are you ready to grow into the leader that you're meant to be? I have to tell you, if you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always got. And so when you're willing to change and do different, you can get different. All right. Your life gets better when you get better. So training yourself. One of my favorite Bible verses is be a approved workman, train yourself to be a approved workman that needeth not to be ashamed. I love the fact that in Tupperware, I could train myself not only in the Tupperware family, but even leadership training outside of Tupperware itself. I have been stepped out of my circle, reading books and figuring, really get digging in to be the best leader I can be. And you heard Ellen say that she gets the reminders on her phone. There are programs out there to motivate you and inspire you and to help you kick your own butt. All right. And that's what I do. I kick my own butt. Nobody has to kick it for me. I arrange to have my butt kicked by me. And so that I'm always on the edge. I want to be on the edge all the time. I don't, they always say if you're not on the edge, you're taking up too much room. Learning can help you be that aggressive. All right, Ellen.
I've never heard somebody say if you're not on the edge, you're taking up too much room, and that's going to totally live in my brain. So, but what I've heard, so one of our friends from Canada, she did a training, and one of the things that she said was she talked about living on the edge of your comfort zone, and I loved that because I've always like had this thing about like, they talk about expanding or like leaving your comfort zone, and I never liked that because it implies I'm going to go back to it. right? So I love the idea of living on the edge. So now I'm going to be like, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. That's funny. All right, so vision. All right, so vision. I mean, vision is one of the most important pieces of this puzzle. I mean, we all heard the research of people of visioning when it comes to athletes, when it comes to just anything, right? So it is the set of the sails, not the direction of the winds, that will determine the way we go, right? And then I love this other quote too. This other quote by Jimmy Dean was so good because I was thinking about it earlier today when I was reading this, and it says, I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. And so many times in this business, the goals don't change, but my path to get there might, maybe the people that are going to help me along the way might, right? And so the question is, where are you going, right? What is your vision? Where is it that you want to go? We are within the last 100 days of this year. And so like, what is it that you want to accomplish? This is go time, and so what can you do? What are the things on your list? I mean, are you those are you the people that, and I, when I say you, I mean me too. I'm here with you, but are you the people that, like, you have a list of things that you need to get done and you have a week to get them done, and it's like day 6.5, and you look at your list, you're like, oh crap, I need to knock some things off this list, and you're like going through, you're like, what can I check off really fast, and you do them really fast. That's what happens in these last 100 days, right? Go back to what you said you're going to do this year. Look at that. Did you mark anything off? Did you only mark one or two things off? Now's the time to look at that list and be like, all right, what are the things I said I was going to do this year? I need to get some of this stuff marked off, right? I need to do some of these things, right? And so now's the time to do it, right? So, what future do you want to create for yourself and your family? And just really think about that. Take time, sit someplace quiet, and just think about that.
All right. And like she says, but where do I start? What do I do? Take time, write it down. It's so important to journal and to write down the things that you want. Where do you want to be in this business? And how are you going to get there? Well, pay yourself first, okay? Daily, weekly, and monthly. And I will tell you, when Ellen joined the team, she told me she needed $3,000 a month. And so we sat down and figured out how she's going to make $3,000 a month. And through her Tupperware in personal parties, had to start first because she wasn't a leader yet. And so we sat down and charted it out. How much money do you want? How much money do you need to make a month to really make this work for you? For your hobby, first of all, if you're going to just start now, how much money would make life easier? Not that you're going to walk away from another job yet. We're not asking you to do that. If this is going to be your career, then we need to know how much money you need there. Um, on the average party, a $500 party, you're going to make $125 profit. So, how many of those parties do you need in a month in order to hit that 125 profit times five, times 10? What do you need? All right. And how many could you do each every week and month? Well, this kind of breaks it down a little bit. And you can see here on Saturday, say you held one party on Saturday and you had one on Thursday, and those are $500 parties. There, you've got $1,000 in the week. You've made yourself $250 profit that week. All right. The next week, you have a one on Monday, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday. But you know what? They weren't as successful as you wanted them to be, but they were $250 party. Still adds up to 1,000, and you've made yourself $250 profit that week. Then you have the next week, you had one party, but you really did a really good job in party planning that girl. And she was really motivated and really helped a lot too with the energy and the party. And it was $1,000 party. Yay. All right. And so you've got your $1,000 party. And then the next week, it was the last week of the month, and you had several people place orders. All right. And so $100 order there, $100 order there, $100 order there. And you had one party at 500, and all added up to be $1,000. So that's $4,000 in the month that you sold. How many of you have ever sold $4,000 in personal sales in the month? Put a one in the chat. Yes, Ellen has. I have, of course. Honestly, there have been months when I've sold 15, 12, $1,000. However, just being consistent and just being holding those two parties every single week can usually give you that $1,000 every week and a total of 4,000 for the month. Now, when you have that, you have $1,000 profit, and you will also get at the end of the month a personal volume bonus. Now, all consultants have two ways of making money. One is your profit, your 25%, and the other is the personal volume bonus. Now, the personal volume bonus actually starts at 1,500 for the month, but when you get up to 4,000, you're actually getting 10%. And every $500 or every $500 after that, you get an additional 10, you get that 10% upgrade too. All right. And so it's a really cool way to track out how much money you need and figure it out and get busy working for it. But there is more earning potential. There is more promoting, stepping up in leadership, and having friends come in the business and working with you, having acquaintance. You might not even know them, to be honest with you, because you can recruit all across North America. And if you're out there doing Tupperware parties, Facebook parties, TikTok, marketing on marketplace on Facebook, whatever the case is, you'll have people come into the business that you don't know if you're putting it out there. And you're not going to get it if you don't put it out there. But if you put it out there and you're visible and you can be seen and found, you will get those kind of things happening to you. A team is always better. All right. Just, I always like to think of, you know, uh, people like when Ray Kroc opened up his first McDonald's. What if he had never opened up the second one, or the third one, or the fourth one, or the fifth one? He would not be, everybody wouldn't know his name, that's for sure, right? All right. And so you've got to think about that and knowing that every time you bring a recruit into the business, you opened up another franchise. All right. Because it's part of your franchise in your circle. So think about, hey, I need more franchises. All right. And look for people that you want to join your team and be part of your franchise circle, and then help them build their franchise, because it can always be a part of your franchise when you help them as well. And we'll show you how to keep that and always make sure you're ahead of that and be and have all these franchises open for you. All right. And so go ahead, Ellen.
Awesome. All right. So, this is the career plan, and this is something that's really important. Take a screenshot of this, ask for Pam to send this image to you. We can post it on Champion. But I always had this laminated, and I had this page and another page, and I had them laminated back to back. And I always had them near me, like somewhere near my desk, so that I could look at them and I could just kind of see what it took, what it is that I needed to step up to the next level, to step up to the level of manager, to step up to the level of star manager, whatever that next level was. Because here's the thing, it's not a secret. This business, it's not a secret. There are no secrets in this business. It's strategy. All right. And that's why it's important to know what your next move is. And so if you are a consultant right now, your next move is to build your team, right? There's no two ways about it. To build your team, build your calendar, those two things. You're always working to build your calendar, because that's going to give you, just like Pam just showed us with the your parties and your commissions and all that. That's where you're going to meet your team members. That's where you're going to model that. And they're going to be like, oh, I want to do that too. And so you're just simply showing exactly what it is that they can do in the business to be able to do the business, right? And so I always wanted to have the career plan in front of me, so I knew what was my next path, the consultant to the manager levels. And the cool thing about the career plan, this particular sheet, is this shows you the different ways that you're getting paid, right? So this shows you your different bonuses that you're getting, and the different bonuses at the manager level, the Vanguard bonuses, and the monthly executive manager bonuses, and the director, and then at the director level, all the different bonuses that you can earn as well. And so it's good to know that and share it with somebody, right? Share it with the other person that you budget the household with, and be like, look at this. These are all the different ways that I can get paid, right? And so that's like different streams of income coming into the same source, right? So that's what I love about knowing that type of stuff, because when I start seeing those things, they add up, right? It's like couponing, right? It's like a couple dollars here, and it's $20 here, and then it's $50 here, and then it's $400 here, and then $200 here, and $100, and it just adds up so quick. So you add that with your commissions, and it's like, whoa.
Right. And as you move up to new levels, and it's the first time for that level, you do get a bonus too. And so stepping up to manager is $100 bonus, and star manager is $150 bonus, and executive manager $200 bonus. And so there's bonuses included there just for a new title, but they're not an always time check. However, at the star manager level, executive manager level, you do go into a forever bonus check that you can get, and it can grow according to your volume. All right. And so this is just kind of just breaks it down for you for your first step up. And so you are have manager compensation, which you're making 25% off your personal sales, and then you're going to get 2% off you and your team, according to the volume sales that you have. To be a manager, you need to have three recruits come into the business, and to be a star manager, you need to have six personal recruits, and to be an executive manager, you need to have nine. I remember that by saying 369. Okay. And that's the sales volume to step up is the same as well. So this is the manager level. So that would be three recruits, but you also go three levels deep. And so you have to have these three personal recruits, but your team that has a recruit, they do go into your unit and you do get paid on them. So you'll get paid once you're a manager, you will get paid three levels deep. All right. And so if you bring in Susie, Mary, and Kathy brings in Jane, and then you get paid on Jane too. And this is Mary, and Mary brings in Katrina, and Katrina brings in George. We don't want to be sexist here. Brings in George. You get paid on all of that. All right. They are all part of your unit. All right. But it takes those three personal first. You have to have that core free front line, I call them. All right. And then, of course, your own personal sales, no matter what the title is always has to be at least 500 in personal sales every month. Can I just be honest with you? If you're just going to aim for that, you're not going to get titles. You're not going to move up in title. You can't aim for 500 because you might hit it. All right. And honestly, you've got to go way more than that. You got to think way bigger than that. That is actually there to make sure everybody knows that you cannot do nothing and get here. All right. Obviously, if you have a month where you have go on vacation for 2 weeks on a cruise or something like that, it's nice to have that safety net that knows you only have to have 500. But in order to make the big bucks here and the big titles here, you can't sit back and say all I need is 500. You're not going to get there. Okay. You have to think big. And Tupperware at Champion, we don't think about our minimums. We think about our maximums. How much money can I really make? As much as you want. All right. And so this is the manager level. Welcoming one consultant every single month is going to help you maintain that title, and holding two personal parties every single week is going to help you maintain that title, and supporting everybody on your team is how you're going to maintain that title. Supporting means not doing the job for them, encouraging them, motivate them, hey, get on the team meeting tonight, I'm getting on, I'll be there at 7:30, those kind of things. Now, the example of this is I talked through this already. That $100, $1,000 profit from your $4,000, and your $400 profit bonus. Your unit sells 5,000 because you have your 4,000, and somebody on your team maybe sold 1,000, or maybe all three of them sold $333. All right, and so you get 2% of that, and so you get another $75 bonus, and your Vanguard bonus would be $80. So as a manager, you're going to have four ways of making money, because you're going to have your profit, you're going to have your personal volume bonus, you're going to have your Vanguard bonus, and you're going to have your profit plus bonus. Okay, so four ways of making money, and your step up bonus for the first time step up. Okay, so if you've ever been a manager before, you don't get that again. That's a one-time check. All right, and your potential money for your first month as a paid as manager would be $1,655. Woohoo! All right. It is so important for you to realize this right now. We're doing this called on purpose tonight, because if you step up tomorrow night to be a manager, guys, you'll get paid in October, when everybody's working like crazy and it's record breaker month, you'll get paid on your team. So you want to be, you have to step up before the month you want to get paid on the big bucks. All right. All right. So then we have the go for growth. And the go for growth is, take it away, Ellen.
So Go for Growth is a consistency reward for managers. So you've experienced the consistency award. Actually, Pam Champion did a consistency award just recently for us over the summer months to help everybody get active, right? And we got that cart bag, that was really cool. So this is sort of the same thing, but for managers and directors. So it's for leadership, right? And so they give us these incentives and things like that. This is the one that ends tomorrow. But it is rolling. These are rolling, correct, Pam?
Yes.
Okay, so this is rolling. So if you step up tomorrow, I believe you will be playing in this and it will roll over. But then you will also be playing in the Q4 one as well. So that's really exciting. Is anybody on this call already a manager? I'm not 100% sure. Is that? I'm not sure. No.
Yeah. Kate is.
Okay. All right. So she might be already be in this go for growth. And if not, no big deal because we are, if you don't, if you hit your numbers this month, and then, in this, we got another one rolling starting in October.
There might be somebody else on here. I just was glancing.
Yeah.
Pam Green's
I'm
on here.
almost there.
Yay.
Love it.
Who was that?
$86 away.
Stop it. Oh my goodness. That's so exciting.
Oh my gosh, it is. Is that Teresa? Who said that?
Yes.
Oh,
Sorry,
good.
my video's off. I
That's
moved.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I will tell you, I've been watching your numbers. Congratulations. Personal sales are absolutely wonderful. Perfect.
Yeah. Outside orders. I need to work on parties, but hey, I'll get there.
Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. So this is the new gift coming. And so starting tomorrow, starting in October, this is the fourth quarter. Oh, why isn't it? Oh, there it is. The fourth quarter. And so the consistency bonus for next month is this, and it is a cooler bag backpack. Very popular, very hot new item, and it'll be logoed with Tupperware on it. So how cool is that? Ellen has one of those. I know.
I do. I just lent it to Ella over the weekend so she could go to her concert in Maryland. I was like, "Hey, do you want this?" And she's like, yeah."
Oh,
Perfect for road trips. It's perfect for concerts. It's perfect for sporting events. It's like amazing. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so what's possible? As you can see, there is real money to be made as you grow your Tupperware business. There's no limit. So you can make as much money as you want to make. All right. I always like to say that. There's how much money could you make in Tupperware? As much as you want. All right. We don't have a we don't have a ceiling at all. No glass ceiling. We have no box. All right. We're not going to keep you in a box. We're going to let you make as much money as you want. The more the merrier. So what's your dream? And that's really what it comes down to. What do you want out of this business? Do you dream about the possibilities of having a business where you can really explode? What would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? I always think that's such a profound statement. What would you do if you knew you would not fail? There are times when people don't want to step up and say, I want it because they're afraid they will fail. So it would be embarrassing. And so it's easier to say, I don't want it. Well, do you really not want more money for your family? Do you really not want the opportunity to help other people? Because when you step up and you take the pledge to be a manager, it's not just you and your family you're going to help other people. I will tell you, there's never a day that goes by that I don't have somebody appreciating the fact that I brought them into the business or that what we do at Champion or how we organize and run the Tupperware business. We're helping families. And I always look at every time I bring somebody into the business, I will help people one family at a time. So, what is your dream? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? And, what do you want to give? Giving is great. It feels so good to give. But it's not just monetary. What if you could give them the power to make their own choices? What if you could give them the opportunity to have the freedom to work from home and to be able to, be there when the school bus comes in? Um, Think big, start small, but begin now. The next level is waiting for you. The stage is waiting for you. The income and the freedom is waiting. The recognition, it's all waiting for you. Step up, shine bright, achieve more. There's nothing to be said for setting back and not doing it. It's not going to help. If you look at other people and feel like I don't want to do it because they're going to look at me and think, what does she think she is? Well, let them think. Okay, let them. All right, because you know what? If they're probably not thinking at all about you, but if they are, so what? We have so much to be done and so many people to be rewarded. Why? Why not? Why not now and why not you? Success is not having something or being somebody. Success is doing something. I have always been told and always will tell anybody that wants to listen to me, I don't love money, but I do love what money does. And I will say that to my dying day. I love, love, love what money does and what I can do with the money. All right, let your 9 to 5 pay your bills while your 6 to 12 build your empire. Hello. You know what? Thank you so much. But I want you, and we're going to close this call with Ellen. Would you please share with us your Tupperware story as I take these slides down and make you the focal? All right. Ellen, tell us about you. When did
Okay.
you join the business? What happened?
What did you say?
When did you join the business? Why do you stay?
So I actually joined the business almost 18 years ago. So I'm actually coming up my 18-year anniversary. So I'm almost an adult in the business. How about that? So yeah, 18 years ago, in October, and I joined at the very end of October. It was like probably I think the last week in October. I think it was like October 20 something. And so then I did a party within about a week or so. And I when I came to the business, I said to Pam, I was like, I just want to focus on me. I just need to make some money and I'll just, sell products or whatever. And so I can make some money. I don't want to recruit anybody because I have was been in direct sales before and I was frustrated by people not working and people doing things like that, right? You know how you guys are like, oh, I'll recruit. They don't want to work and they don't want to do this, right? And you get really frustrated, right? I see Carrie nodding her head, right? Yeah, because we've all done it. We've recruited people and we're frustrated because they're excited and they're like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you're excited with them. And then they ghost you, and you're just like, oh, right. And so when I came to Tupperware, I was just kind of like, I can control me, right? And I can count on me and I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to just sell and I'm going to make some commissions and get my family out of this financial mess that we're in, right? And so that was my main focus. And so as we're talking, she's like, what do you need? And I said, well, we really need $3,000 a month is what we really, really need. And she's like, okay. And to do that, you really will get there faster and easier if you recruit. And I was like, ugh, and I was like, fine. I was kind of like a toddler. I was like, whatever, mom. Like, I was like, fine, I'll clean my room. I was like, but I mean, I respected her. I respected what she had built in her business. And so, because even though I came in saying, I don't want to recruit and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that, I respected everything she had done in her business. And so therefore, I was not going to just be stubborn and not listen to her advice when she had done everything I wanted to do, right? And so I was just like, okay. And I was like, well, I don't know what you're going to do with me because I can't date parties and I can't recruit. And that's where I felt I was because I had dated parties and I had recruited, but I felt like my parties were meh. And so therefore I felt like I wasn't good at dating the right parties, right? When really I just kind of need to sharpen my skills on like what to do at those parties, right? And I also need to be promoting the right products, which was Tupperware, not what everyone else was, right? And then the other thing was, I felt like I couldn't recruit because I felt like the people I was recruiting weren't doing anything. When really the real problem was is I just wasn't recruiting the numbers. I wasn't recruiting enough people. When she said you got to recruit 10 to get one to work, yeah, I was recruiting 10, but again, I was only getting the one to work and I needed 10 to work, right? So, but I didn't understand that. I was pretty stoked that I recruited 10, right? So I was like, sweet, look at me. I'm rocking this, and so, but I didn't understand why only one was working. And so when I came, I felt frustrated by the business, but I really wasn't doing anything wrong. I just wasn't understanding the full picture. And that's truly what Pam was able to do for me when I came. And so when she's like, you need to recruit if you want to build this business and get to that level. And I was like, fine, I'll do that. And so I did it in that first month, it was the month of November. So those people that are out there and they're just like, oh yeah, people can't step up in November and they're not going to step up in November. And Jenny stepped up in what, no, December, was it? Jenny, I'm just saying. So there's some people on this call that definitely did some stepping up at the end of the year. Okay. So it can happen. So don't let anybody sit there and tell you. And a lot of times the people that tell you that these things can't happen in your business are actually people that aren't in your business. Okay. So don't listen to them. All right. Because they don't know, or they're people that have not done it in your business, right? And so think about when people are trying to give you well-meaning advice, right? A lot of times this advice and these words are coming from people that probably love you the most in the world. They're doing it because they're trying to protect you, right? They're trying to protect you from heartache or being disappointed, right? And that's what their truth, that's where their heart is, right? And so give that to them and take that all with a grain of salt, right? But the fact of the matter is, the people that actually have accomplished things in the business, aka Pam Clift, okay, like she's done it, right? And so if she tells you it can be done, guys, it can be done. And that's what happened there in her kitchen that day. Was we were sitting there and she's like, you can do this, and I was like, and she's like, but you can, and I'm like, but I can't. I don't know how to do this and this. And she's like, I can fix that. You can do this. And I was like, but I'm not sure if I don't know. I don't, and then finally, after all my hemming and hawing, she's like, listen, she's like, I can tell that you don't, you don't have belief in yourself. Put your belief in me until you believe in yourself and just do this. And I was like, okay. And so and when she said that, what that meant to me in my brain was like, do what you're told. Don't ask questions, do what you're told, right? I mean, kind of like that's what it was. And I just kind of was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put one foot in front of the other. And when she says do this, I'm going to go do it. And you know what? And I did. I didn't succeed at everything she told me to do, right? So I want to put that out there. Okay. She's like, go try this. And I was like, I did. It didn't work. I came back. I was like, yeah, that didn't work. It was really bad. And I felt really awkward and dumb. And she's like, it's okay. Now try this. And I go back and I'd be like, that actually worked, and she's just like, oh, great, great. Okay, so let's do this, and I talk to her sometimes on the way back from parties. She's like, what worked? And I'm like, oh, one time I remember I was just like, man, it's the worst party, blah, 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 and all this. And she's like, okay, so tell me what did work, and I was just like, well, I had all of my supplies, like, because my kids were little and they like to dig through my bags before I left the house and they'd pull out things I needed, and so that was a challenge, and so she would help me see the good and when I only was seeing the bad. And then she also would help me find the good and then help me capitalize on that. Then we would focus on what went wrong and she would be like, okay, so how can we fix it? And I remember driving home thinking, well, where were you on my way to the party? Because I could have used this advice on my way to the party, but that getting that advice on the way home, even though I didn't date any parties and I had no more parties in my books, it would motivate me to go date more parties so I could try these new things that she's telling me, And so I wanted to just kind of share that perspective with those early months in the business when I was trying to step up that first month and then the months after when I was stepping up higher these other levels, because it's really important, because it's very easy for people to look at me now and be like 18 years later and I stepped up to manager in the first month and I've never stepped back down, and it's just like, oh well, that's easy for you because whatever the reason, but it's really important to know, like, yeah, I got no's. Yeah, I went back with my tail between my legs. I got embarrassed. I did things that I was like, I can't believe that just happened. I mean, oh, I can't, I'm not even gonna go there, but I, but I want to tell you guys, like, now is such a wonderful time to be working towards stepping up in the business. So I know, Teresa said that, yeah, she's like inches away from stepping up this month, and that is fan freaking tastic, and I'm super duper excited for you. I'm excited for you to be a part of our champion leadership team. I'm super excited for that. And I'm excited for all the people on here that already are part of the champion leadership team. But let me tell you, one of the things I'm most excited for is everybody who's even just on this call or listening to the replay. I'm super excited for you to go out and recruit somebody right now, recruit somebody, even in the next 24 hours, right? Even though it may not lead to stepping up this month, it might absolutely lead to, it might be the one recruit this month, and then next month you get two. You're that much closer to getting your three for next month. And just always look at it that way, and just leave everything on the table at the end of every single month. And when you do that, then you can hold your head up high and be like, I did that, and I did it all, and that's the biggest thing. And so that's what I've done in this business, is every single month I just try to leave it all out there. And some months I get across the finish lines, and other months I'm like, daggone it, that was rough, And so, but it's such an exciting business, and I could not be more proud to be with Champion, and I couldn't be more proud to be with Tupperware, because I'm telling you guys right now, this is a fantastic time to be in this business and to be recruiting. So whatever you do, just don't give up. I mean, that's one of the biggest successes in this business, is just, that's not a secret, it's a strategy. And one of the strategies is, don't give up. Don't give up. Keep going.
All right. Thank you so much, Ellen. That was wonderful. And so tonight we're going to put the ahas out there for you to go ahead and have a chance to win. But we're also going to have a chance to win right now. So from Pam Swag. But I also want to share with you that we're going to have on October 6th, we're going to have a leadership meeting. So if you're already a leader, you want to mark that on your calendar at 7:30. But also, if you are not a leader, moving up tonight would put you into that leadership meeting. And so make not tonight, but tomorrow night at midnight, making sure that you all know that there is recognition for new leaders at leadership meeting, and an opportunity for you to um, learn from other leaders. Okay. And Tina Oscar, another business leader that is one of my dearest friends, will actually be here in my home. And we're going to be able to go live from here at the house with Tina and I both. And also any other the uh, area directors that want to come in to the house can do that.
Oh, I didn't know we were invited.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a private thing.
Directors always invited. I know you want to see Tina as well, because a lot of you are good friends with Tina. So, yes, absolutely. All
Oh,
right. And so I wanted to thank you guys, though, for being on tonight. I hope you felt that it was very worth your time, and you got gained some knowledge of your perspective and how you can be making more money. Remember the levels: manager, three. $3,000 in sales, and three personal recruits. Any recruits from those recruits count too, three levels deep. Star manager, $6,000 in total team sales, and six personal recruits. Always remember the 500 stays there. You always have to have at least 500, that being personal, but that's not your goal. That's your minimum. All right. We don't do minimums at Champion. And then executive. If you want to be an executive manager, where it really does give you a big bump in the pay, by the way, you feel it then. You're like, wow, I'm really making some good bucks here. That would be nine personal recruits and active and working, and $9,000 in team sales. All right. And so that's how you climb this ladder to be go into the director title. You need to have uh, that 9,000 level is a really good place to start, but it jumps to 11. Okay. And so we will get you in that program. And, there's no reason to worry about that until till you get here. But every time that you go to that next level and you went to go on from there, just let me know. Let's sit down and take it and graft it out for you, and what you're looking at and where you want to go. So, Teresa, after this, you'll be looking at the 6 and the 6,000 to move up to the next level. And I know that we have Pam on here, and Pam is already a director with us. And Kate, you are a manager in title, so going up to star manager. I think you've been there before. You can go again. All right. Would love to have all of you looking at more. Where can I go? What can I do to get to the next level? And what would be my next? We call them promotions and next title, and the opportunity to be your very best, better your best. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for being on. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to helping you grow your business. And if you have any questions, please reach out. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye bye.